Hi everyone, I'm Nidhi and we're back with another video. Well, in today's video, we're going to discuss how is it that you can increase your chances of getting a favorable order in front of a particular judge. So, I'm talking about personal experience, right? When I used to practice at the Bombay High Court, and let's say that we were filing an application for quashing of an FIR, there were instances where we used to get orders in our favor, but there were some particular instances where we were sent back to file for a discharge application. So, it's a saying that good lawyers, they tend to argue on the case, but great lawyers, they tend to argue basis their knowledge of the judge. And that's what we're going to try and do today. So, we were able to create an entire workflow which analyzes the judgments that a particular judge has given, let's say in the recent years, and then understand which advocate has had the most favorable orders, so that when we're wanting to appoint a particular advocate at the High Court or at the Supreme Court of India, we know our best shot. If you're a trial court lawyer and you want to do this for the High Court, or if you're a High Court lawyer and you want to approach the Supreme Court but you want to appoint someone, this strategy is going to work wonders for you. Now, to be able to do these things, you will have to follow the following steps. The first step is to create a Python code. Now you'll ask me, Nidhi, we are lawyers. How are you asking us to create a Python code? So don't worry. We also did this with ChatGPT. In fact, I am also a lawyer myself, and I was able to generate this Python code by giving certain prompts to ChatGPT. Now, like I told you, the first step is to generate a Python code, and you can now do this by using ChatGPT or Claude. I did the same thing. And this is the entire code that I was able to get. Of course, I don't understand ABC of code, but in the age of AI, you can still do this, right? So I was able to generate this code and I've uploaded it onto a tool called the Visual Studio Code. This is necessary because I will have to run my code here to be able to follow the next steps. So this is a simple copy paste of the code that I have done here, and let's move forward. Now, once you're able to generate the code and upload it to Visual Studio Code and run it also, this is where our workflow comes in. And I'm using a software called Make to run my workflow and get the data out. I will show you. So this is a tool called Make, and this is exactly how my workflow looks like. So I was specifically looking for cases before Justice Vibha Kankanwadi, and we were specifically searching for quashing of FIR cases which have been in the favor of applicant. Now, if you're a trial court lawyer and an FIR has been filed against your client, going to the usual route, of course, may take time and trial takes years. But what if you could get an FIR quashed before a particular judge, and you know that how often a particular lawyer has been successful in front of the judge? So I was trying to find which orders have been in favor of the applicant before Justice Vibha Kankanwadi in the previous few months. That gives me a very good chance of giving my case to that lawyer. So this is exactly my search, and you would have to do this in Indian Kanun. Let me show you. So you just go to Indian Kanun right here, and this is where you can just go to browse judgments. Now I want to search for the Bombay High Court, and I'm going to go to 2025. Entire year is my selection. Now I will go and type washing of FIR in favor of applicant. All right. Now, once I do this search, I will get some 368 results, but I can filter this out based on the judges also. So you can see this is the first option right here, Justice Vibha and Kankanwadi, and I have 40 options here. To be able to run the workflow, I will have to use this specific URL that is there on Indian Kanun. Now, if you're looking to search for, let's say, an indirect taxation matter before a Supreme Court judge, you would have to filter out that search and then use that specific URL, because this is where the data scraping will happen. Anytime you want to do a particular search, make sure you don't forget this step. So I'm going to use this URL and then go to my workflow and start the work on it. Let me explain now the nodes to you. So Webhooks is basically the place where all my data will be imported from the Visual Studio Code, right? Let me show it to you. You can see here that entire judgment text for my specific URL, it is going to analyze one judgment at a time. And you can see the whole judgment right here. So this is before Bombay High Court. The judge's name is given here. What is the matter? Basically, the entire data will be picked up into webhooks. And once we have this entire data, what do we have to do? We have to analyze the data. And that's where we use ChatGPT. You can see I have integrated ChatGPT here. I'll show you what my prompt to ChatGPT is and what my output is, right? So this is my exact prompt here. I say extract the following metadata fields from the judgment. The judgment is going to come to webhooks and then this analysis is going to come. What is it that I want to know? I want to know the judgment name, the date, the author, bench, who is the appellant, respondent. You can of course write petitioner, respondent, appellant, non-appellant basis the case you are analyzing. Decision in favor of whom? This is very important because we want to understand particular lawyers before that judge. And this is a JSON structure. This is something that we use to get a proper format so that we can import all our data into the sheet. And that's why I have given this structure. And I say that if the value is not mentioned, just write it not mentioned because there is a lot of data to scrape here. There could be an instance that one or two values are not being identified. So you have to give this prompt also. Now, I need some extractions from the judgment right here. You can see I've given the judgment. So it is going to analyze one judgment at a time. And you will see my output right here. So what is my output? You can see it has done the work already. I'm showing you past data that the judgment name is this, the date is this is the bench, advocate for appellant, respondent, and in whose favor was the decision in. We're going to go back, and once we have this analysis, we want to be able to have this in a particular Excel sheet. That's where we use JSON so that it gives a structure to what we are doing. So you can see this is exactly the structure that I wanted in, and you can see the columns are divided here, right? This is my output and this is my input to it. So I want the judgment name, date, author, bench, and it basically gives the structure to my Excel sheet right here, and my Excel will be generated. It may sound a little complicated, but I want to be able to run this code for you and show you that once I run this, it goes to Indian Kanun, it picks up one judgment at a time, analyzes the whole thing, and then gives me all the data into an Excel sheet right here. I've done this search already, but let's do it live for all of you. So I'm going to go to the software and now run it. As you can see on my screen, I have run this workflow now, and the webhook is basically analyzing my judgments and then bringing it to ChatGPT. You can see that this integration is going on, and then it's going to put it into the format and generate it into the Google Sheet. I have the analysis sheet right here. Let's stay here and see the data being generated live for me. So we have two judgments already where we can see Miss Anjali Dubey has had a favorable order. Let's just expand this. Okay. Because the workflow is live right now, you can see that the entries are coming in live. I just have 40 judgments to analyze here, but you could do a lot more, and data scraping basically does wonders for you. We'll wait here and see the entries being generated live. Again, so we have another judgment, and you can see for the first four cases that we have, Miss Anjali Dubey Bajpai has had a favorable order. The decision was in favor of this advocate. Wonderful. You can see basically the applicants here. Let's wait for more entries. You can see this workflow live, and it's doing the job right here. Picks up all data from Indian Kanun, analyzes it, and puts it in a sheet right here. Perfect. So we have more. We have 7 entries that have been analyzed. And how much time is this taking? I just have to spend a couple of minutes in my workflow. Of course, the Python code generation could take you, let's say, half an hour or 1 hour to figure out. But once you're able to do that and put it into the workflow, this does wonders for you. And let me tell you that here in Make, right, I'm running a scenario basically. I'll just minimize my screen and you can see that this is a scenario. For the first 10,000 scenarios, Make is free. Just the ChatGPT integration that I've done here is paid, but completely worth my time, energy. And of course, once I'm able to do this, I can concentrate more time on strategic decision making, right? If I have to appoint a Supreme Court AOR, if I have to appoint a criminal lawyer, a civil lawyer, or a taxation lawyer, let's say in the Supreme Court, or I have to go to a particular high court that I've never been, but I want to appoint a lawyer, this strategy works wonders. Let's go back to the sheet and you can see there are 10 entries already, and it's going to keep running, right? Let's wait for two more entries and still being generated. Now, just based on these 11 entries, you can see that Miss Anjali Dubey stands out, right? Before Justice Vibha Kankanbadi. And if I have to go for a quashing of a case, not knowing which lawyer to appoint, this data is wonderful for me, right? Now, as you can see, more entries are being generated, and we have another lawyer in favor of whom two judgments have been there. So this is Advocate G.A. Kulkarni, two entries right here, and it's going to keep generating more. We have 40 entries to analyze just before one judge. My whole point is that if you're able to learn this kind of work and integrate this in your daily legal practice, it's going to completely change the game. And if you're someone who does not know this at this point of time, or you're stuck in your old traditional ways of practice, you are going to be left behind. AI is the new game, and it has completely revolutionized the way lawyers are also practicing before courts. One such example right in front of you. Well, this is just a trailer of what you can do and integrate in your legal practice. There is lots more to learn, from judgment analysis to bench hunting to drafting and strategic decision making, client outreach, yes, in a legal and ethical way, building your personal brand as a lawyer, and so much more that AI can do for you. But you need to learn all of these skills to be able to get there. If you like this, do comment, share, and like this video. And if you want to learn more such skills and stand out as a lawyer, whether you are in a corporate and a law firm or you're a litigating lawyer, there are amazing things that we are here to teach you. So you should definitely come and join our 3-day online and live boot camp that is happening on 13th, 14th, and 15th of September 2025. There is lots more to learn and do and scale up your legal career. I'm Nidhi signing off, but I will definitely see you there. Mark your calendar. It's a live event. Bye bye.